Alright guys, welcome to the video today. So in this video I wanted to discuss some perks on the longbow that you may want to have that you may not have necessarily thought was good before, but I've had a lot of time to play around with longbows and a ton of different roles on different people's accounts, and just in general, it's not specifically longbow where these perks are really good, just across snipers in general. So I wanted to share my opinions and I hope you look forward to listening to them. Alright, so starting off in the first row of perks, you can get Guerrilla Fighter, Eye of the Storm, Partial Refund, Army of One, Triple Tap, Underdog, Last Resort, Life Support, and Grenadier. Grenadier isn't really going to help you too much, especially with tier 5 discipline builds that a ton of people are running. Not a bad perk, but also not the best. Life Support can be good in some situations, mainly when you're playing against a Thorn, but it's not going to be that common if you're getting shot and you're really low health to get a snipe off to regen health. And even then, if you're playing against the Thorn, it's going to stop the regen before it can complete. So yes, it does help, but overall there are better perks out there. If you do get one with life support, it's not a bad roll, but as far as like the best perks, I wouldn't consider it the best. Last Resort is really good for if you're a Trials player. A ton of people only get on the weekends or get on the weekends to play Trials, so that's completely fine. If you're only a Trials player, this is probably the best perk for you. Triple Tap, not very useful. One of my favorite ones is Eye of the Storm. Guerrilla Fighter I don't really find to be that useful because a lot of the times I'm not behind cover anyways, but Eye of the Storm, you find like the hardest shots to hit with a sniper are either when you're weak or when you're being shot at. Most of the time those two go hand in hand, and it kind of reverses it now. When you have Eye of the Storm up when you're weak and when you have very low health, it kind of turns into the opposite, where that's the easiest time to hit shots. It increases range, effectively increasing aim assist, so it's going to feel a lot crispier when you have really low health, which is one of my favorite parts. And I just like how it kind of reverses the effect of being weak, how I don't know, it can turn around a lot of battles where you're getting hit really hard, but if you can pop behind cover for a second and then pop right out, it's going to help you out a ton. Not too many other really good perks in this row, but if I could pick between the two, I'd say the top tier perks would be Eye of the Storm and Last Resort, but that's just me. People have different opinions, but those are definitely my top two perks for the first row. Alright, so moving on to the second row of perk options, we have Armor Piercing Rounds, Skip Rounds, Speed Reload, Explosive Rounds, Quick Draw, Perfect Balance, and then in the next options we have Injection Mold, Rifled Barrel, Handlaid Stock, and Snapshot, and finally Oiled Frame, Reinforced Barrel, Casket Mag, and Small Bore. These are all perks that are options in the middle row. Personally, my favorites would have to be Quick Draw, Perfect Balance, Snapshot, and Rifled Barrel. I don't really have a preference for that last section. There aren't too many perks there that you'd want to pick over the first two options, so I'm going to kind of break it down for a second. Perfect Balance is on the sniper that I'm using in this gameplay, and if you notice with Shadow Veils, that's kind of the reason that it feels so crisp to shoot and why people always complain about how easy it was. If you took Perfect Balance off, it definitely did not feel as good, and this is one of the reasons why. It just overall makes the shot feel cleaner. Hitboxes feel a little bit bigger for some reason, even though I don't think that's true. Just overall, if you can kind of overcome not being able to aim in as fast as if you had a Quick Draw or Snapshot, if you can get used to it, it's really nice. And personally, it's one of my favorite perks. I've been trying to get it for a very long time on one of my snipers, but I still haven't gotten it. The only snipers I think that I have it on are Shadow Veils, and then I also play on a few accounts. The gameplay, like I said, right now has Perfect Balance on the longbow. I love it. It's my personal favorite. And then another option in that row is Quick Draw. Quick Draw essentially gives you the same benefits as Snapshot and Single Point Sling in one. So if you have both between Quick Draw and Snapshot, definitely put on Quick Draw. And then in the next perk row, we have, it's kind of a contest between the two. Both are really good. It kind of depends on if you would prefer to aim in faster or to have more aim assist. You have Snapshot, and then you have Rifled Barrel. Rifled Barrel increases the range by a ton and decreases reload speed. This was on the quest line, 1,000 yards there. That's why it was so easy to get headshots. So if you want it to be easier to get headshots, maybe you play a Blade Dancer already and you already aim in really quick, then go for Rifled Barrel. But if you want to aim in quick and you're playing on a Gunslinger or a Sunslinger or whatnot, anything without Quick Draw in the perk line, basically anything besides Blade Dancer, you might want to have Snapshot on. It's more just kind of a personal preference, but in summary, the top tier perks for me would be in the first row Quick Draw and Perfect Balance, and then in the second row, Snapshot and Rifled Barrel. Moving on to the last row of perks, we have Mulligan, Spray and Play, Hidden Hand, Unflinching, Outlaw, Firefly, and Hot Swap. I should mention Mulligan does proc a lot more often than it used to, but in my opinion has been outsed by a few perks which I'm about to mention. A few of them being Hot Swap, Outlaw, Hidden Hand, and Firefly. Firefly just kind of a personal preference because it looks really cool. Hot Swap, if you can take advantage of knowing when to switch to your secondary, being the longbow, it adds a ton of aim assist, and overall, if you can time it right, is so easy to hit headshots. It's pretty ridiculous. Definitely one of my favorite perks. Outlaw isn't as good anymore because we don't really have a lot of excess ammo to reload into. And then Hidden Hand, as we all know, adds aim assist, and who doesn't love aim assist? It's the only reason we're good at sniping, right? But anyways, that's kind of just my build, my favorite perks. These don't have to coincide with you. You can have different opinions, but these are my opinions, and I hope I was able to express them as professionally as possible. Hope you guys enjoyed the video today, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.